I'm sorry we can't hear you.
Thank you. That's because I muted the other mic and then forgot. So thanks. Yeah, so hello everyone. Good to see you. Uh yeah, if you haven't been to the class before and I saw a couple of unfamiliar names, um I'll I'll talk for a few minutes, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll meditate and I'll lead partway through that meditation and then just let you go with it. And then there's time at the end for any observations you have about what happened in your meditation, what happened in the practice. So today, I'm going to talk about something slightly different, but it does connect back to awareness. In Shrewsbury, we've got a month's rainy season retreat. So lots going on at the centre every day, different people leading things. And we're looking at the Lojong teachings. We're looking at the little book by Dhirananda and Virya Bodhi, two Swedish order members, called Train Your Mind. And I signed up to lead a few of the morning meditations. And as it turns out, the morning meditations have been the least popular and well attended thing on the program. So no one came. And I prepared for slogan 40. So I thought, oh well, I'll see what I can do with it for the class. Um, so all the slogans, if you're not familiar with the Lojong, the mind training slogans, they're all oriented towards bodhicitta, towards interconnectedness. They emphasize selflessness and the practice of Tonglen, sort of exchanging self and other, self for other. So that's what I prepared, but I also found myself thinking through the lens of awareness or awareness and wisdom, because that's my sort of natural mindset, if you like. And the particular slogan, it's called "Meet all opposition with the same intention." And like a lot of the slogans, it's not immediately obvious what it's about. It can seem a little bit obscure from the title. So, meet all opposition with the same intention. And I was thinking opposition, in a sense, is a bit like reactivity. Meet all reactivity with the same intention, the same, uh, well, just in the same way, I suppose. And what the slogan is pointing out that when we're well, it uses the word slandered. When we're slandered, which means when we're criticized, either by ourselves or by somebody else. But when we judge ourselves, I think it has the same effect. That the mind training slogans are saying we tend to lose confidence. We can get into doubt, lose confidence in ourselves, but also in our practice. And so at that point, the mind training recommends switching the focus from self to other. So rather than thinking about our own practice and having lost confidence in it and it's not very good and all that, we just think about, well, actually, my practice is for the benefit of others. And that can be really helpful. That can be a very useful way. What we're doing is ultimately not just for our own benefit. It's partly for our own benefit, but it's not just for our own benefit. But where I was going with it in thinking about it in relation to awareness was that you can also shift focus uh, in another way, not just from self to other, but in another way. I was thinking you can shift focus in this practice from being immersed in doubt, thinking about it, getting mixed up in it, to the awareness. So you go from the object to the mind. And in that way, you make an object of the doubt or the lack of confidence. So you see it a little bit more objectively, a little bit more impersonally. And it really takes the sting out of that particular mind state. Um, when we're immersed in it, we do take it personally. We take, this is, what's this mind state saying about me? Yes, we so then we're aware of the mind state, and maybe we're also aware of feeling. We're aware of how what the feeling in the mind is in relation to whatever mind state is happening at the time. So there's a balance going on in both. In the bodhicitta kind of practice, you're emphasizing a balance between self and other, other and self. And in that way, you're connecting with interconnectedness. But with the awareness wisdom practice, you're balancing that being aware of whatever you're experiencing, but also being aware of it. So there's a balance between mind awareness and object experience. And that, yeah, as I said, that can be a real relief, that balance, to not be taking things personally, not be so concerned with what it's saying about me. So in different ways, the mind training slogans and awareness wisdom, they're both talking about a move away from self, a move away from self-referentialness or selfing. Yeah, so meeting all opposition with the same intention. In our case, in this kind of practice, the awareness is the intention to be aware with that kindly, spacious, open quality. The intention to meet reactivity or opposition with that same quality of openness, spaciousness, and in a very consistent way, if you like. We don't meet some qualities with openness and others with closing down to them. Actually, the whatever is happening in awareness, we can be have the same sort of quality of interest or connection with ourselves. This is just something that's happening in the moment. What's it like? What can be known about this particular quality of mind? So a very unreactive state. So you can see, yeah, that's in this case meeting all reactivity with that same sort of quality of mind, same intention. Yeah, and then finally, our intention is to grow awareness moment by moment. You might have a practice where 90% of the time you're caught in the experiences, you're caught in the objects of what's happening. But actually, if each time you remember, just coming back to, I'm aware of what's happening. And in that way, we're growing the awareness and we're growing the wisdom through seeing things a little bit more clearly. Okay, so that's it. That's how I used my my slogan from the mind training teachings. So yeah, if you like to set up for meditation,